All right. We are just getting started over here, turning up here for day 2 of our high-level 2-day workshop selling automated AI reports using HighLevel. If you are tuning in for the first time, if you've just found this feed by accident scrolling, well, you're welcome to hang out and join us. Comment below where you are tuning in from, what part of the world are you in, and we're going to be diving into our second part of really leveraging HighLevel in a whole new strategy way without doing the manual work. And as you guys are all and gals are all sharing where you're tuning in from, how many of you are active marketers, freelancers, agency owners at the moment? Like you have a business running, you have customers that you're serving, whether it's repeat customers or you're getting a new customer every day. Let me know below. I'm an agency owner. I'm in the marketing field. I have paying customers. And if you're brand new, brand new, like this is your first time even thinking about this, or you've been thinking about it and today's the first time you're going to do something about it, let me know. I'm brand new. I'm looking to learn. I'm brand new because I'm bringing on here a special guest by the name of Meyers. She's been in the industry for a very long time, and she's going to be sharing with us how she uses HighLevel, but more importantly, how her customers, her students, her other colleagues in the industry are also using some of her frameworks and HighLevel. So Carly, thank you so much for coming back for round 2 of what we have going on today, joining us. So
Oh, of
excited to have
course.
you.
I had so much fun yesterday. Of course, I would be back today. I do need to just say, though, it is roasting in the UK today. This never happens. We never have sun or heat. So I feel like my face is the same color as my top today. It's probably going to get redder and redder. Sorry, I don't have a skin condition. We have no aircon because we don't ever have sun. So, bear with me here.
As long as you got the fan rolling, I think as long as you're comfortable as possible, that's good. I don't know
Well,
if the dogs are going to get a walk today in that heat, but I
no.
think we'll leave that for another time. Friends, if you are using AI now, whether it's in your day-to-day with understanding an industry, understanding a way or to present a marketing offer to a client of yours, if you're using it within your marketing offers or your designs, let me know in the comments, how are you using AI today? And if you're using it for any sales function, if you're using it to craft any emails, SMS, landing pages that are to buy a service or a product, let me know in the comments below. I want to make this as engaging as possible. This is our second and final day together here, and we're going to get really, really technical. Really technical. So if you have the tablet to the left or the right, you have your laptop, your HighLevel trial account set up, you're gonna be using it today, or you'll be using it to take notes or take screenshots, whatever the case may be. But more importantly, I want to make sure we get you the registration to join here. If you've just found out about this event, there's a registration QR code here on the top. Scan that QR code. It's going to give you pretty much the recording as well as access to the assets. There'll be a snapshot. At HighLevel, we use a snapshot to transfer all of the preset configurations that Carly has put together to put it into your account. So you do a import and you get to start editing it a bit with a foundation already built, as well as some PDFs on talk tracks and strategies, so on and so forth. So if you have not yet signed up for it, do so now. Carly, I know we have a jam-packed agenda. I think we estimated about an hour and a half of this.
Mhm.
If we need more, absolutely. I don't want you to feel rushed in any way, but for our audience to keep Carly excited with really diving deep and for me to make sure we get everything we need, I'm going to need you to be in the comments and asking her questions, sharing your result if you're trying it on the spot, and really communicating, because she's one of those guests that she has like 5 screens in front of her watching the comments on every social platform. All right. So you're about to find out who Carly is here in a second. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Carly, if you don't mind sharing yours, we could go and, well, I wasn't even sharing my screen. Is that you sharing your screen?
That's me. Oh, yeah. I think I was a bit too early.
I have lost my mind.
I was like, no, I was a keen bean over here. I was just waiting
Let's
to
go.
show you my stuff.
Let's do this. So you're already driving. I'm just gonna put my seatbelt on right now.
Oh,
I'm gonna
love it.
buckle
We're
up.
about to go for a ride, JB. I hope you're ready. I'm just laughing because I've seen the comments. Someone said, Carly, you're actually blending into your background. I swear it's because there is steam coming off my head. This is what's actually happening now. My Zoom background is like, what's going on? She's on fire. But anyway, we're going to be good. I'll bring the fire. Okay.
Awesome.
Amazing. Seeing some comments about the snapshot. Clinton said the snapshot is fire. So glad that you're loving it. I really didn't want to hold anything back. You know, sometimes I hate it when I kind of get like a piece of the puzzle and then I need to figure out the next piece of the puzzle. And that kind of confuses me more than when I didn't even have a puzzle at all. So I kind of thought, you know, I'll just give you all the stuff and then you can just go off and do it because, you know, we can all win here. That's the beautiful thing about this. There are so many people needing this that we don't need to gatekeep any of the information. You know, there is so much opportunity out there. So just wanted to give it all to you today. Okay, so a little recap for anyone who didn't see yesterday. I'm going to whiz through this, but I really recommend if you weren't here yesterday, go back and watch it. That was jam-packed and I gave you the whole kind of scope there. But if you are just tuning in today, my name's Carly Meyers. I built a $2.2 million business in social marketing. I'm a speaker, a podcaster. I'm speaking at this year's GHL Summit, which is super exciting. I own an agency myself. So everything that I'm talking to you about doing, I do day to day in my own business. And I also have a white label SaaS of HighLevel as well. And I'm a mum of two. So everything that I do is geared around, you know, leveraging my time so that I can spend as much time as possible with my kids. Let's recap what we went over yesterday. Now, the reality is the AI and automation consulting space has a massive supply problem. There are millions and millions of businesses right now that desperately need guidance on how to implement AI and automation, and they have no idea how to do it. I don't know if you feel that fear or that kind of pressure that is definitely around right now, where everyone's like, you need to get on AI, you need to start adding automation, and people are really feeling that pressure, but they're saying, I don't know how to do this. So there is a huge supply problem for people who are able to help these business owners implement it in a really clear and simple way. And this is where we come in. Instead of positioning yourself as the standard agency owner, you know, we just go in and we build your tech stuff. Position yourself as an AI growth architect, which is really a fancy schmancy word for AI consultant. But it sounds way better, doesn't it? But the AI growth architect is really, you are drawing the blueprint. You are giving them the floor plans and saying, here you go, this is how you're going to build the foundations of your AI empire. So this is why I call myself AI growth architect, and it really positions yourself in a completely different market. If you feel like I literally look like an egghead like this right now. If you feel like there are a million other agency owners, then move away from the crowd and start to go where there is a starving market and also where it's wide open. So this is what we're really helping you do today. Now, as I've said yesterday, the problem with the traditional agency model, and remember, I do this is my own model as well. You can spend loads of time on discovery calls when really, as an agency owner, you need to be in the front spending 80 to 90% of your time promoting your offer. You don't need to be doing all these discovery calls and finding out that loads of them aren't the right fit. Naturally, we always over deliver. So many people get on a discovery call and give everything away on that call, but you don't need to do that. You can still qualify these people and charge for that expertise that you have been giving away for free. It's really hard to know someone's business in just an hour discovery call. So often you will get behind the hood, start working with a client, and then think, oh, this is not what I thought. This is way more work than I thought. You can get bad fit clients. The retainer model is exhausting. And let's be real, the AI is coming to replace so many of our skills as agency owners. You know, I've just seen HighLevel is updating all of their AI funnel features. And I'm like, damn, if you are a funnel builder, you need to look out, or you definitely need to be using these features. So we really need to look at, let's position ourselves in a new market and move away from that traditional agency model. So this is the audit model. I'm gonna have a little bit of water. So the audit model is really, really simple. The first part of it is that you create content which starts to position yourself as someone who knows a little bit about AI and automation. You don't have to be the expert. You don't literally have to come out as if you are, Mo Gaudat over here. You can just be positioning yourself as someone who really understands how these things work. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. The second step is where you sell this through DMs. So I sell this through my Instagram DMs, my LinkedIn DMs. Sometimes they'll WhatsApp me, and I do this all through, my LinkedIn, my lead connector app that you get with HighLevel. I can be replying on all of those messages there. So I sell them directly through to there. Then we do the paid discovery call. Now, someone commented yesterday and they said, I just can't get my head around the idea of charging for a discovery call when everyone else is giving them away for free. Why would anyone pay for that? There is a really clear distinction here. This is not like any other discovery call. A discovery call that you're used to, where you've just got an hour and you're just trying to sell the call, you are literally going to scratch the surface of what that business needs. You're going to get to know, the top layer of what you need to know about this business. In these interviews, this is where you are going deep. You're going one layer, then another layer, then another layer, then another layer, until you get to the real issues and the real core of what this business is all about. So this is so different to the kind of discovery calls that you've done. We're going to be interviewing the founders, the leadership team, the employees. We're really getting a good grasp of what's going on in this business. So that is why you can charge more. And I'm going to be breaking down the whole pricing framework in a second. So once we've got all of that information, we've asked loads of questions and we've got all that info, we then put that through our custom GPT, which I've given you all the prompts for, and we generate a full audit, which we then present to them on a call. So we get on the call and we say, hey, based on everything that we spoke about in that interview, here is what I found. This is where you're losing money. This is where you can, increase your profits. This is where you could cut costs. This is where you can save time. And we will show an exact, graph and chart of exactly how they can save money and increase their profits. At that point, most business owners then have that kind of light bulb moment of like, wow, I want all of what you just said. When someone lists something really attractive and they're like, do you want to increase your profits and do this? Most of the time, they then say, I want that. Whatever you just said, I want all of that stuff. Can you do it for me? And because they are already partway through the process of working with you, because you've already delivered on the promise of giving them clarity, they are much more likely to say yes. So the actual process of selling your agency services becomes so easy. It becomes a really natural progression. Then when they decide that they want to work with you and they say, okay, cool, give me all of that stuff you just said, I want you to implement it. Then you've got a couple of choices. You can either do it in-house. If you have an agency, if you have a team, you can do this in-house and you've got an amazing, high ticket build out project there. If you don't want to do that, you could partner with another agency. There are brilliant GHL agencies that will just, do all of these projects for you and you'll get a kickback for partnering with them. Or if they're a bigger company, then they might do it in-house. And you could even charge a consultancy fee on top. You might say, look, you guys do it. You've got the team. You're all good. But, here's my retainer fee. Let's work together for the next 3 months. And I'm going to help you, just oversee it. And then, of course, the beautiful thing is that 90% of what they will need in their business can be done on HighLevel. So you can then even recommend your SaaS if you have a white label SaaS. If you turned HighLevel into your own software product, you can do that. Or you can obviously recommend them to HighLevel who have a brilliant affiliate program. So that is the overview. We are going to be going even deeper. When I was saying in my interviews, I go deep and then I go deep and then I go deep. We're doing that on the call today as well. So I'm going to show you another overview of what this looks like, but then I'm actually going to walk you through the exact snapshot as well. So,
well, looks like we got a lot of new faces popping in here, Carly. I don't know if you started texting everybody this morning, but I've never seen some of these faces before. And there are some faces here that haven't been on in a while. So thank you so much for joining here.
Word spreading.
Day 2 is always like the solid, like the tech part of this is why we use HighLevel, right? And you've made this pretty simple. So I will say that, with what Carly's going to go over here, results will vary. HighLevel will not guarantee that you will, gain any financial gain from this. But also, as this gets set up here, I don't want you to get discouraged if you don't do it exactly the way Carly asks you to do it. You may find some tweaks, but maybe you don't even get even halfway. Absolutely go back to the replay. It'll be available on YouTube,
Mhm.
Facebook, and just kind of put it on a little bit of a slow speed, and you'll be just fine. But Carly, for someone that's brand new with this, what should they expect with the build out of what you're about to show them?
I'm just laughing that you said slow speed because I forget that I do speak quick. Do I speak quick?
Well, I speak quick normally, but I'm just saying when like looking at instructions, you know what I mean? It's
I feel
you know
like a
like
lot of English people speak really quick and then I
oh,
forget. So definitely slow it down if you are going to
absolutely.
rewatch it. And yeah, so in terms of do you mean the build out is in like if they were to go and then build that thing, or do you mean
Yeah,
the
like
snapshot?
the frustration. Like if you're brand new, right? I mean, we have a bunch of new customers that join in, and they're trying to figure this part out. They can't get the snapshot installed. They're like, this maybe is not for me. Is there any words of encouragement that you could share based on your students' experiences when they join with you? Like, this is what you need to just focus on.
For sure, yeah. So what I will say is, I mean, a lot of what I give away in my community is that it's that bit of just getting you over that hurdle of saying, let's just figure out what you need to do. I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they join high level is they look at it and they think, whoa, there is so much it can do. And you try and do it all. You try and figure out the funnels and figure out the automations. And there's a prospecting tool and there's a social media planner. And I wouldn't do that because you're going to get really overwhelmed and you're going to think that this is too complicated for you. And it's really not. But what you want to do is pace yourself. So if this has excited you today, and if you have looked at this and thought, this is something that I want to do, all we want to do is get to know the things that are in this snapshot. And a little bit later in the call, I'm going to be walking you through every single bit, what automation does what, showing you all the funnel pages, and I'm going to be walking you through it. But this isn't where the journey ends. This isn't like if you don't get it today, it's not going to happen. This is a process. And what I mean, I just dived into high level and I just loved it. I started playing around with all the stuff and I really got to know it. But the great thing is, if you are not trying to use 9 other platforms at the same time, you are going to master high level far quicker than you've ever mastered anything before. So if you're coming into this and thinking, I'm just not techie, every platform I've tried, I'm not techie, if you spend enough time in here, you are going to become a master at it. It's going to be a repetition. So what I would say is let's master this snapshot together. We're going to be working together. I do weekly calls in my community that you get when you join, and we're going to master this together. And then we build from there, and then we build from there, and then we build from there. This is all about skill stacking. And this is what we're going to do. So we're going to start with the basics and then build up from there.
So I need y'all to get this part going here. Type in the chat AI growth consultant because we're about to jump in to the new image of what we're about to bring on as AI growth consultants in our local markets. And we're about to learn as we go with Carly here. So I'm looking at the comments here. A couple AI growth consultants already started being put in. Carly, let's go. Let's put this into the next gear.
Amazing. Let's do it. And I completely agree. Like make this your own. When I said yesterday that I learned this, I was being coached by Dan Martell and he was telling me about this agency model. And I was like, oh my God, I used to do this. It was slightly different to what I'm showing you today, but this works for me. I love this way of doing it. I love this way of finding leads. I love selling in the DMs. But if there's a piece of this that feels feels like it's not aligned and you think, I really don't want to do it like that, then find your own way of doing it. Piece together your little ways of doing it, but just take this as a framework because you will find the way that works for you. We don't all have to do it exactly the same, but the overall thing is the same. Okay, beautiful. Oh my God, I love that people are saying they are AI growth consultants. We have got a wave, my friends. We have got a wave. So, as I said, the reason this works so well is that you deliver quick results. There is nothing like, if you're a service provider, there is nothing like the feeling of over delivering and delivering on your promise. When you say, I'm going to give you clarity and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it, and 5 days later, you've delivered exactly that, and they are so excited about what you've shown them. There's no greater feeling than that. So you're going to give them great results really, really quick, and they're going to trust you to spend more with you. It initiates that sunk cost effect. They've already gone part of the way with you. They're very much likely to carry on with you. And it generates cash flow on the front end. If you're doing all these discovery calls and not getting paid until right at the end, it really is a tough business model to run. So this is why it makes a lot of sense. We also covered who to interview, what to ask, how to use ChatGPT and HighLevel to generate your report, and how to deliver at scale. Now we are going to go into the questions. So I just wanted to answer some questions because we we had a few of the kind of similar ones yesterday, and I wanted to go through them. So one of them was, how do you know what to charge? You know, someone was like, how on earth do you charge 5K or 10K, or how do I price this? Now, the truth is, you can price this however you want to. You know, I'm giving you my guidelines of how I price it, but you can price this however you want to. So these are my oh, I just want to say this actually first. There are so many reasons to charge higher, even though it might feel uncomfortable and you may not want to do this at first. There is a real good reason to charge higher. First of all, it's going to attract better quality buyers. You know, those dream clients that you want in your agency, then that's going to attract those people. If you're charging $50 for this and you're doing all these calls and you're putting this report together and it's like, whoa, this is amazing, you are not going to attract those high quality buyers with a $50 report. So really make sure that the offer you're offering on the front end matches the type of client that you want on the back end. The second one is that you are making the ROI crystal clear here. You're not saying, you know, so many times on a discovery call, we're saying, you're selling yourself and you're like, you know, trust me, believe in me. I'm just trying to tell you how good I am. And, you know, I'm really good. I'm better than the rest. But this isn't what this is like. When you're doing that debrief call and you are showing your report and you're going through the slides and you are saying, hey, if you do this, you will cut this cost. You can save on this, and then this is the ROI you're going to get on it. It's so black and white. So for you to say, you know, it's going to cost you $20,000 or whatever to do this build out, but you're going to get 100K out of it. That is so simple to show that. So you're really, the whole focus of these calls and this whole exercise is focusing on the ROI. So that's why it's really I don't want to say easy. I'm catching myself from saying easy because nothing is easy. But that's why it's a really kind of clean way of doing it. Pricing is all relative. You know, I work with some business owners and we've saved them 1.2 million by making these changes. Do you think they care about paying 10K for an audit? They're like, that's pocket change to them. But also 10K, if I can help someone, if I can help a business not hire another admin person, that's going to cost them way more than 10K a year. You know, how much are they going to pay out for an admin person to help them with their emails and help them with their spreadsheets and help them with their filing? That is going to cost way more than 10K. So even if I'm saying, you know, by doing this report, I'm going to show you exactly how you don't need to hire another person on your admin team. And actually, you can probably fire someone, although I know that I shouldn't be saying that. Then it's all relative, right? And you can make the same or more with less clients. You don't need to be playing the volume game, right? You don't need to be having loads of clients. If you don't have a big following, if you don't have this big social media presence and you're not going to attract loads of people to you, that's fine. You don't need to do that. You could deliver an amazing service for these business owners and you don't need as many clients. So there's many, many reasons to charge high. You may not feel comfortable doing it yet, but make sure you don't undervalue what this is, because I'm going to go into this second. Remember that you are not just pricing the time that the audit makes. You're not just pricing your high-level subscription cost. You're not just pricing this, you're pricing the ROI that it will give them. Whenever you're pricing anything, whether it's a course or whatever, you should always be pricing the outcome that they get and what that is worth to them. Like what we're talking about here is I'm going to show that founder how he can remove himself from his business and go on a 2-week holiday with his family and not feel like his whole business is going to burn down. That is valuable. So that founder would pay a lot to get that feeling. So let's just dive into the pricing framework. This is how I do it, but again, you can do it exactly as you wish. I usually say if there are 1 to 3 employees, I charge 2K. I probably don't need to interview more than 2 of them because you've probably got a couple of admin people on there. So I would say the founder really is the main person that I'm interviewing, possibly a co-founder if they have one. So I do 2K for that one. If it's 3 to 10 employees, then I do 5K. Again, it's based on the number of interviews that I'm doing and the time that takes and the brain power that it's going to take to create that report. And then if it's 10 plus employees, then I will do 10K plus, and it's really up to you. Remember, if you have just died a little inside because you're like, there is no way I can charge that much, it's all good. Start with that smaller end and build up, build up, build up. Because once you have case studies, once you can, you've done this a couple of times for those smaller end clients, maybe you've charged 1K, maybe you've charged 2K, and you can say, these last 5 audits that I did, I saved him 50 grand, I saved him 780 grand, I saved her 1.2 million, and you have these case studies that you can then show and say, look, here's a page of all my case studies, let me know if you want to go ahead, then it is a no-brainer. So you will work up to that. Don't talk yourself out of being there, because you can absolutely be there if you do this properly. So, top tip, if you are brand new, then offer this to 5 people for free to get practice and to get those case studies. Reach out to people on LinkedIn, reach out to family, friends, people that that have got businesses. If you do have a family friend that has a big business, then dive into them, dive into that, do an audit for them, have a play around and get your process that works for you and get those case studies, because it's the case studies that are going to sell this. The second question that I got was, how do I find clients? So, as I said, if you look back at my drawing, my way of finding clients is really with attraction marketing. So creating content and having people come to me. This may not come naturally to all of you. For some of you, you may be good at reaching out. You may want to sit and DM a load of people. That might work for you. You may want to, as I said, I also have a LinkedIn tool that does outreach, and it will just connect with people that are the kind of people that I want to connect with. So depending on how you do it, this is how I do it. So position yourself as an expert on social media. So first of all, create content showcasing how AI and automation can save time, cut costs, and increase profits. These are the 3 main things that people are interested in right now. You can do short form videos or even carousels. Carousels work really well as well. Case study videos. If you have done your 5 for free, then you can do a case study and just talk through it. So you can say, actually, some of my best converting reels are when I just jump off an interview, and I will say, I just jumped off an interview with a guy, and I was doing an audit for his business, and I asked him this question, and his answer was this. And those actually convert really well, because people piece together, oh, she does audits and she interviews people and she uncovers those kind of things, and people start to piece together what you do. So those kind of case study videos work really well. And then, of course, create a keyword automation workflow through HighLevel. So I'm actually going to show you exactly how this works, but I just want to dive into this one quickly. I know loads of you are saying, but I'm not an expert. How can I position myself as an expert if I'm not an expert? And there is a really simple way of doing this. Learn a thing, build a thing, show the thing you just built. So how this works is, you might be, you see something cool popping up. You see, for example, there's like a software that might help you with emails or something, or say, for example, HighLevel, you've seen the prospecting tool on HighLevel, or you've seen the social media planner on HighLevel, and you learn it and you're like, this is so cool. I've just scheduled all of my social media content on HighLevel. This is really cool. So you learn how to do that thing. Then you start using it yourself. And then you record yourself showing that thing that you just did. So you say, hey, just want to let you know, I just created all my AI content using the content AI in HighLevel. This is so cool. This has saved me this amount of time. It's so much cheaper than the other tool that I was using. And I actually got better conversions with it as well. So don't think, okay, I need to, someone said, is your screen blurry? It's because I've got a Zoom background, and I swear I'm so hot here in the UK. I've got heat coming off my head. When someone says, I don't want to be an expert, I don't want you to go away now and try and do a master's degree in AI or automation. I also don't want you to go away and try and learn everything there is possibly to know about HighLevel, because it is going to be a waste of your time. Just learn one thing, build that thing, and then show that thing. That's all you need to do. And then start stacking those videos. And naturally, people are going to start to think, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Or, oh God, that would save me so much time if I did that. Or, that would just, that would cut so many, save me so much time. That would cut so much cost that, I'm paying double for that at the moment. So Let's go. So option 2, if you don't want to do that, you can reach out to business owners yourself. So if you don't want to do the attraction marketing thing, you could reach out to people instead and say, this is what I do. I do actually have a message. I can probably post that somewhere and show you what I reach out to people. And it basically says, look, we work with businesses. We help them cut costs, save time, and increase their revenue. Let me know if this is something you're interested in. I'd love to send you some more information about it. It doesn't need to be any more than that. Are you okay, JB?
I'm just sipping coffee here. I'm just amazed. Like what you're about to give these next 15 slides. Like I'm trying to think of what am I going to do here to get this crowd really to understand that they got to close their door, put their do not disturb sign on, put their phone on silent, and absolutely make sure that their battery is on full charge.
Love it. JB, can you take over for 1 second? I'm actually just going to put a blind behind me so that it blocks out. There's some sun coming behind me, and I just want to make sure that I stop flickering because I know this.
All right, sounds good. Well, look, y'all. What did we learn so far? So far with what Carly's shared with you, what's your biggest takeaway? And while she's away getting this squared away, I know that a bunch of you are really good at HighLevel, and I know a bunch of you are really new and trying to learn HighLevel. So comment below if Carly would be able to help you out today. What help would you ask her for? Let me know in the comments below. And please don't say A2P because A2P is off that on this one, okay? I think we made it a little bit easier here. So let me know what help would you ask for Carly to give you if you were ready to take on this AI growth consultant framework, this AI growth consultant pathway, this AI growth consultant insert cool word thereafter. What would you want to ask her? Carly, are you back?
I'm back, and I'm not.
Grab a sip. No, go ahead. Grab a sip of water there. Yep.
I put you on the spot there.
Absolutely. And if you guys are sipping a cup of tea, cup of water, cup of coffee, your favorite energy drink, whatever the case may be, cheers to you. Type in cheers in the comments below. Grab a sip, and we're going to get right to it.
Someone just asked, actually, how do you access my community? So I'm getting fancy over here, guys, and I'm using the branded app that HighLevel have got. It's so cool. So I'm going through the verification process at the moment. I had the other app, but I'm ready for an upgrade. I'm ready for my own branded app. So yeah, it's going through the verification, but anyone who signs up, obviously I've got all of your links and I'll get that out to you ASAP. However, I will actually send out an email because tomorrow will be my first call. So I'll get that email out to you anyway, even though I don't have the app verified yet. Apple's just doing its thing. But I'll get that link out to you. So if you want to join the call tomorrow and, get help with getting your snapshot set up and ask any of your other questions, we can do all of that good fun stuff.
Awesome. All right. Well, look, I know we got these, I know you got some back end slides. I know that you were going to go, some technical hands-on, some show and tell. So I'm going to leave it up to you. I'll be here if you need me. Just JB, take the wheel and I'm here.
Perfect. Let's go for it. So where are we? Okay, so how to automate the back end. I'm going to show you the steps that you've got, but then I am actually going to share my screen and I'm going to walk through it with you. So we're going to go into it. So the first step is the HighLevel keyword chat automation. I use this all the time. So this is where you'll see here, I use this. This was an older picture that I had, but it was a DM masterclass for my free training. Whenever I do a masterclass, whenever I do anything like that, I'm always changing my bio and putting that keyword in there. And what actually happens is when they DM me, for example, now I have clarity, because that's what I want people to DM when they learn about the audit. They will DM me clarity. And then automatically they're going to get a message back that says, thank you for the DM. It's great to hear you're looking to get some clarity on your business. Love to send you some more info about our AI and automation audit. What's the best email to send the info to? So then when they come back and they put in their email, the email is automatically updated to your contact records. So this is such a powerful tool. I know that everyone says, you see this everywhere, and maybe you think, why don't they just put a link to like an opt-in form? The conversions of this are the difference between 20% and 80%. You might get 20 to 30% conversions on a typical lead magnet because everyone does it. But with this, the conversions of it are like 80%. So you can really get so many more. If you're one of your objectives is to build your list, which I really hope it is, then this is going to be something that you really want to make sure that you are utilizing. You can do this with you can ask loads here. You can ask for the phone number, it automatically updates. You can ask for the their name, whatever it is. But this is a really cool thing to start with. It builds your list so easily. And then they give their email address, and then I say, great, thanks so much. If you check your email, I just sent you a link with some more info, or you can just check it out straight away here if that's easier. And then I give them a link to my page. So we are actually going to then go over to this page. I'm going to show you exactly what this page looks like. We send them to this page, and the idea of this page is really focusing on just the pain points. The idea of any sales page really is that at the beginning of the page, they're saying, I don't know whether this is for me or not. I don't know if I'm interested in this. Do I need this? I don't think so. But then by the end of the page, because the copy is talking so deeply to them, by the end of this page, they are like, I feel like they are talking to me. I feel like Carly is in my head. How does she know so much about me? This is exactly what I need, and this is going to solve all my problems. So this is what the idea of this page is for. We're really highlighting a problem at the beginning. A lot of people don't know that what they're doing right now is archaic. They don't know that there is a better way to do it. So the idea of this page is that we move them through that kind of, sales psychology of saying, God, I didn't know that I needed this, but now I realize this is everything that I need. So they go through there, and then they say, I'm ready to book their audit. And then what actually happens is they can apply it will say click to apply audit. And then what's going to happen is they are going to DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn, and we're going to go into selling in the DMs. I'm going to go through the script with them. So if I got it on here, yeah. So once they DM me, they're going to message me the word audit again. So I've got a different keyword to signal that this person is really interested. They've looked at the information. They're really interested in what I'm saying. So then I might reply and I'll say, hey, Richard, thanks so much for commenting to learn more about our audits. I'd love to know a bit more about your business first so I can check whether it's right for you. Are you cool with me sending a couple of questions over here? And they always come back and say, yeah, sure, no problem. Because the reality is most people don't want to jump on a call. I was talking to someone today, and she had a service that I was quite interested in. And she just kept pushing this call, and I can't be bothered. I don't want to get on a call. I'm like, just tell me what it is. Tell me the price. Let me figure out whether it's right for me or not. And this is so much easier. There's so much less friction. So we will go back and forth. I'll show you the whole scripts in a second and how this works. But then they say, okay, yes, I'm in. They say, send me some more information. We send them over to the checkout page. They fill in their information. They pay, do all of that. Again, this is all done through HighLevel. And then after that, they are going to get an email straight away that says, hey, thanks so much for signing up. That's the wrong image there. It's meant to be a calendar. But that's that. They'll say, thanks so much for signing up. Here's what you need to do next. The first one is you need to fill out this intake form. The second one is that you need to book your interview. And then that's going to take them all through that process. So this is all happening, nicely behind the scenes. You could be doing this yourself, or if you don't have the time to do this, or you don't want to do this, maybe you don't want to be on your phone, you can very easily get a setter to do this for you. And it's really, really simple to do that. And then, of course, we have our whole, all of the automations and all of the pipelines as well. So what I want to do is actually dive into it. I'm going to go through this whole process with you, exactly what this looks like when you get your snapshot. Bear with me now. We are getting into the good stuff.
For those of you that have set up your HighLevel account, if you haven't installed your snapshot yet, you'll need to open up the HighLevel login on a Chrome tab, and then you'll have to open up a new tab next to it, copy and paste the link, and then that'll give you a prompt to click on import now. Once you do that, you'll need to go to your sub account area, and you'll need to load the snapshot into that sub account. So there's a few steps here. We have a help guide link below at our help.gohighlevel.com. And as always, if you have any questions about HighLevel, you can go to speakwith.us/success. Now, Carly, with what we're about to do now here, I know we talked about the GPT, we talked about the DM comment automation. That's within HighLevel now, connecting your social media. I get that all done. when it comes to creating content, is this one of those things where it has to be just a post? Can it be a video? Could it be, how do you put yourself out there prior to, right, maybe outreaching cold DMs? How did you get people to contact you? Was it mostly videos, posts?
Yeah, I think the videos work the best, to be honest. I mean, some posts do work pretty well. What's working well at the moment is like the Twitter style carousels. They're
Mhm.
getting a lot of reach, and you're basically just, framing the problem that people have right now, i.e., AI is coming, it's here to take a lot of your jobs. It's helping businesses reduce costs by XYZ. And this is how it could help you. So there's loads of examples of how you can do these carousel posts. They work really well. And of course, you can use ChatGPT or Claude to do those as well. Um, I actually find the videos work best. And as I said yesterday, don't get caught up in thinking that you need to do super high quality videos, and hire a studio and there's lights and there's camera and there's smoke and there's a wind machine. Don't do any of that stuff. You can if you want to, but I don't think it's necessary. To be honest, really, I have sold, I built most of my business genuinely by being myself. I am a mum of two. Most of the time, I'm sat in my car while the kids are at gymnastics or something else is going on. So that is where I do my content. And I just haven't got time to try and perfect it. I just want to get my voice out and I want to give value. So I would really not overthink this. And as I said before, just learn something cool, go on and talk about it, and then share that with other people. Even if you just start listening to some more podcasts that are really good, that really starts to, get your mind going about what's going on in the AI world today and what cool things are happening. Learn something, listen to something cool, get inspired by it, and think, oh, this could really help business owners do this. Then literally get your phone, talk about that thing you just heard. Oh, I was just listening to this podcast and they were talking about this thing. They were talking about this new tool that's coming out and XYZ, and this is how it could help you. Super cool. These are the kind of things that I help my clients with when we do their audits. If this is something you're interested in learning about, to save you spending hours trying to figure out all this stuff yourself, if you just want a blueprint of how you could do it, then book in one of our audits and I'll give you an exact personalized roadmap of how this could work for you. They're like, sweet. I don't want to sit and listen to a podcast all the time about AI. Most people, it's overwhelming for them. So they're like, let's cut through the noise. Carly's going to help me cut through the noise. Let's do this. So, really just keep it simple. Everything I do is about keeping it simple, and just think, this thing that I'm learning, how can I say this in the simplest way? The best clients, by the way, I'm going off on a tangent now, but the best clients I think are like boomer businesses. So if you're wondering what niches and things to go for, boomer businesses are really great. So, older business owners that have got to the point where they've been doing this for a while now and they are burnt out and they're like, I'm either going to sell my business or I'm going to walk away from it because I can't keep going like this anymore. And these people have no desire whatsoever to learn the newest, coolest, sexiest AI tool. They really don't care about it. They're just thinking, how can I make sure that my business survives? So those clients are actually perfect to go for because all they want you to do is speak to them in very normal, simple language. I hope that you've noticed from me that there's not a lot of tech jargon. I speak like very conversationally. This is how I talk to my clients. This is how I talk about all the tech stuff. I'm not trying to sound smart. I'm trying to help them understand it. So if you are not very techy and if you don't know all the, all the cool terms for it, that's actually probably one of your superpowers. So you sift through the noise, you figure out how you can say it in a simple way, and then share that with people in a really simple way. One of my things on LinkedIn, actually, I say, I help people understand, I help people understand AI in a way that even a 5-year-old could get it. That's really what I'm thinking. If I could teach this to my son, then I feel like that boomer that boomer business owner is going to get it too. I'm not saying that they're the same as 5-year-olds, but really, this isn't about you being smart. This is about you keeping it simple. This is all we're trying to do here.
Carly, as you just, shared all that fire, all that best practice, all that years of experience, what I'm thinking right now is that, look, y'all, if you're really good at sales, right? How many of you are really good at sales? Let me know in the comments below. JB, I'm really good at sales. Carly, I'm really good at sales. Well, then, with what Carly's about to show you from a technical aspect, You could literally be a lead generator. Imagine that you're making relationships with agency owners that are not sales oriented. They're struggling to find qualified leads. Their budgets are depleted, and now you come in and you ask them a few questions. Hey, what is your top offer? What do you feel really comfortable fulfilling on? So on and so forth. And you say, hey, look, I offer a service where I can actually either give you the calls pre-done, where I go through a consultancy with them, I give you the transcript, I give you the report, I give you everything, and then you can pitch them the product, or maybe you pitch the product for them and you give it to them, or take a commission, or whatever the case may be. But this is the sales call process that is so, so, so important.
Mhm.
Large companies bring in their salespeople from all over the globe, whether they're selling vacuums, they're selling gym memberships, they're selling software, they're selling equipment. They bring them into their headquarters, they teach them their framework, how to be consultants, and then they go out in the field in their local markets and they sell based off consultancy because the company that they work for and the product that they're positioning, the human like you and I don't want to be sold. Whether I'm a med spa owner, I'm a doctor, treat me like a human. This is
Mhm.
going to help you treat them like a human. So let's go over the tech, and then you're going to wrap us up here as we get towards the end. I'm assuming you give us a little summary because I know there's a lot that you're going to cover.
For sure. I'll
Okay.
wrap it all up. I just want to say quickly, some people said that the clarity workshop isn't in the snapshot. Don't worry, we'll get that added. We can push that out somehow. We'll get that added. Don't worry. So no crying emojis. You're going to get it. And
Yeah,
then,
and Carly, just to clarify here, not to wrap it up like now, we got a lot of time. I'm
oh
talking
no, I
about
know.
just when you
Oh,
wrap it
I'm
up
ready
at
to
the
go,
end.
baby. Don't, I'm just getting started. I've had
Okay,
10
we're gonna
calls
stretch.
this
So
morning. I'm
everybody, do me a
ready.
favor. Let's
Don't you worry
everyone
about it.
stretch a little bit because your arms might be, get a little tired here for typing so much. But we're about to get this going here. Let's
We're
do
good. And
it.
also, there are some people saying, I'm a boomer. If you are a boomer and you get this, then that is a superpower as well, because you can be going to these other, baby boomer business owners and saying, look, I know where you're at. You have that connection. So if you are a boomer and you don't get this, absolutely cool. You can 100% learn how to do it. But if you are a boomer and you're speaking to other people in that position, genuinely a lot of people in that bracket are either struggling to understand this or have no desire to at all. They're like, I've done my thing. I'm great at what I do. I don't want to find out how to become, a tech expert. So you're in a great position as well. If you're on this call, you are in a great position. Fabulous. So, Gen Xers. I'm a Gen Xer, I think. Maybe I'm a millennial. I don't know.
I
Anyway,
feel like we're like both. I guess. I mean, I'm
I
almost all
know.
three. I feel.
I'm
Someday I'm a
crying.
boomer. Someday I'm a Gen X. Someday I'm a millennial. Someday I just don't know what I am. So
You are how you feel, babe. You are how you feel.
let's go.
Okay, cool. So these are the workflows that we've got here. So I've got my other screen up here. So when the new lead comes in, they are whether that's going to be a this is if you want to run ads to it, you can run ads to it if you want to, or if they're opting into any of your other ways of opting in. This is actually how I do my. Oh, I'm trying to move that, but I can't. I'm trying to do it on the screen that I'm on, but I'm on the wrong screen. So what actually happens here? A new lead comes in. They're going to get a tag that says new lead, and then that gets added into the pipeline. So the pipeline is AI and automation audit, and we'll go over that in a second. The pipeline stage is new lead. So if you want to do, this is why I added this in, just in case you don't want to do the keyword thing. I've added in a couple of options. If you want to do Facebook ads, if you want to add this in, I have a separate one for the keyword thing. So new lead, opportunity source, you can say where these came in from if you want to. And then this is an open opportunity. The reason why this is important is that you can use the dashboard feature in your HighLevel account, and you're going to see how many open opportunities that you've got. So don't skip this bit. You can put it to open, won, lost, abandoned, but this is an open opportunity. So it's going to really show you, who you've got in your pipeline. So the value of this is essentially, if it's 5,000, if it's 10,000, you can put that in there. Then we click save, and then they are going to be getting this email. And the email says, well, whatever you want to put there. If you're doing a separate one, if you don't want to do the keyword one, and instead you just want to have a form, just wanted to cover all bases here, you can put in whatever you want to have in that email. Then we go to the next bit. So once the info is sent, I'm actually just going to jump to this one quickly, actually, because this is the alternative way of doing it. This is the way that I prefer to do it. So we have got Instagram DM trigger here, or Instagram comment. So if they go on and they comment the word clarity, or they DM the word clarity, then this workflow is going to trigger. So automatically, they are going to get a response via comment, and it's going to alternate between these three ones. You can change this so that it's your language if you don't like emojis or all that good fun stuff. And it's just going to say, hey, I've just sent you a DM. Again, that's going to boost engagement as well. So not only are you responding super quick, which is going to be great and starting that conversation, but Instagram is also going to be saying, hey, there's lots of comments on this post and things like that. So respond and comment. Then we're going to say, hey, thank you for the DM. As I said before, it's great to hear you're looking to get some clarity on your business. I'd love to send you some more info. What's the best email to use? Then we're going to wait for them to send the email. So this is already set up. The email is going to be updated into the contact record. And then it's going to be added into the opportunity. So this is, if you do the keyword one or you do the form one, either way, they're going to be added as a new lead. And we're going to send another message. Thanks so much. If you check your email, I've just sent you a link to some more info, or you can check it out straight away if that's easier. Here's the link. So this link, let me just go to where are the skulls to. What's going to happen here is once you've done that, then we're then going to get added to another workflow where we send another email with more information. So let's go back out here. So that is the keyword thing. Anyone panicking that you don't have that in your snapshot, don't worry. I just need to click push on the snapshot, and then that'll all be pushed into your account. So I'll do that as soon as I get off the call. Fabulous. So clarity is the first one. So then what happens is we come over into our sites, and I'm going to show you the page that we send at that point. So at that point, we're sending them this page. So it's going through here, attention business owners, you can put in whoever you want here. If it's a very specific person that you're wanting to do this for, you could say, attention business owners doing $1 million plus, or whatever it is you want to say. Transform your business with a comprehensive AI and automation audit. Is this you? So you can change all of these photos to put them in yourself. If I actually go back here, I can just show you. Because I know what it's like. If you first get in here and you're like, how do I change the photos? How do I change the fonts? Something I just want to show you quickly. I'm not going to give you a whole tutorial on funnels, but this confused me at the beginning. So when you hover over, you see how you've got this like purple box. This means like a section. Then you see how you've got this orange box. This is where each individual thing is. So if you just wanted to add a little bit of text, for example, you would go there and then you can add in anything that you want in there. But if you wanted to add a whole nother column, it's going to go like that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to go into the full funnel build stuff, but what you want to do is on this button, come down here and you are going to put in your link. So here, I actually scroll to Element here. Ignore me. Scroll to Element and then I do the link later on. So is this you? This is where we're really calling out that business owner's pain points. You know AI could revolutionize your business, but you're unsure where to start. You're a business owner and you're spending countless hours on repetitive tasks. You're tired of watching opportunities slip through the cracks. This is where we want them to say, yes, 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 that's me. Then don't worry, we can help. We talk through the 3-step process of what we do in the audit. The AI revolution isn't coming. This is where we're adding the urgency and showing what kind of thing is possible. Add some testimonials. Who is this perfect for? This is where we're going to get rid of the people that this isn't good for and really attract the people that it is right for. And then the time to act is now. And then a little bit about you. So add the credibility, add, a little bit about you, and then frequently asked questions. How long will the report take to come through? Do we have to use you to implement it? What aspects of the business will this cover? So much stuff there. So that's all covered for you, and you can just come in and change this. So for example, you probably don't want a picture of me. You can just come over here, click on that box, click on here, and then you can put in whatever photos you want. Just as a little guide here, I'm sorry if I'm teaching you how to suck eggs if you've been with HighLevel for a while, but whatever you touch on You see this all changes on the right. This is how anything that you touch, whatever you need to change pops up on the right. So just give it a little click and then you scroll down. It might be under styles, it might be under animations, but whatever you need to find here, you'll be able to change in there. So they go through there. You see this button here. Say, for example, we want to change this. Let's go to website URL, and then you could put your Instagram in there, or you could put your LinkedIn in there, or you could put your WhatsApp number in there, or whatever you want to put in there. That's where you want to send them, and that's where you're going to have the conversation. So then we jump over to our script. So this is the SOP for doing your sell by chat. This is exactly the entire process that helps me sell my audits for 5K, 10K, and upwards as well. So we seek to understand rather than sell. All we're trying to do here is say, is this right for them? We're not trying to sell it. We are taking control and saying, I just want to check that this is right for you, not let me try and sell this to you. So all the kind of points of what I go through, tell me about the business, team size, how big is it currently? How long have you been following my staff? What are you struggling with? This is just kind of that relationship building stuff. This is a really good question. Want to dig in a bit to see if I can help. That always throws people off because they're like, oh, what? You're just going to help me in here? Like, yeah, sure. Everyone wants to talk about themselves. So when you say, sure, let me give you a bit of time and see if I can help you in here first, then, that law of reciprocity, even if this goes nowhere, that person is probably going to go and tell someone that they had a great chat with you. Use the A to B method. Where is your business now and where do you want it to be in 12 months time? What's the primary roadblock? What are the 2 to 3 things that are missing for you to get to the desired result? These are the kind of questions. So this entire script is here. How do you close it? What's the desired state? What are the challenges? Leading out, solution. How do you then offer? What do you then do with the offer? So you say, this is what I've got. And then I've actually got an entire template here. So you've got 2 options here. If you're saying, right, I'm only going to go for this type of person, and I guaranteed I'm going to sell this for £1,500. I'm not going to go more than that. I'm just going to have this as like a real rinse and repeat thing. Then you can come here and you're just going to send them to this checkout page. And you just got your standard price and you're like, there you go. That's my price. This is what's covered, blah, blah, blah. So maybe you're going to do that for, the smaller group of people. Or if you want to do a custom proposal, I literally just send a document like this. So I will just go in and I will change the name of the business. I'll change the name of the founder. I'll go in and change the price that I'm doing it for. Where have I got the price in there? Oh, I must have deleted that. Anyway, the price is at the bottom. So I say, this is the price that it is. And then all I say is DM me, I'm in, and I'll send you the link to get set up. And then at that point, you can just send them a payment link. So if you want to get customized with it, don't think, oh my God, I need a new funnel page for each person that I'm going to customize it for. Keep it super simple. Just have an offer doc like this, go around like that, say, this is what's going to be covered. This is the price. Let me know if you're in, and we'll get you set up with a payment link. A beautiful thing about HighLevel is that if we go into payments here, you can use the payment links here. This is such a cool tool. I use this all the time. So you can literally just, how do I get out of there? Oh, I'm not connected. That's why it's not showing me. Here we go. You can come to create a new payment link, put in the product, type in whatever product you want to sell, and then you're literally just going to send them a link. So it's a really easy way of doing this. When someone says, yeah, let's go, you want to capture them straight away. So they pay. Then what happens? We go back to our snazzy snapshot. The info has been sent. Oh, that's the other one. So once we have done the keyword and we say, hey, I've just sent you an email with the link to more information. This is basically what's happening. They're just getting this email here. I saw you DM'd Clarity. Thanks so much. There's a little bit more blurb about that. This is what we're doing. You change all of that for you. Also, just to let you know, guys, anytime you see this, this is what's called a custom value. So a custom value is basically where you can change that in one place. And anytime you put this little bit of code here, so we go into this tag, you'll say contact, first name, something like that. Every time you put that in there, it's going to pull the information that you put in your settings. So it's a really cool way if you don't want to keep typing in the same information, just to let you know what that code is. I'm trying to think of when I started HighLevel, all of this stuff, when I was thinking, what was the stuff that really tripped me up when I got in it? And that freaked me out. I was like, what are all the brackets? Do I need to code? I don't know how to do this. Okay, so the audit has been purchased. Da, 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 da. Beautiful times. They are going to get you see here, you've got triggers and actions. The trigger is you're saying when this thing happens, then I want this to happen. So we're saying when the order form is submitted, then we're going to say, they're going to get a tag, audit purchased. We are going to get notified. Hooray! I actually normally sometimes in the title, I put lots of emojis and like celebratory horns, just because I find it exciting when I get it. We then also, they are going to get an email that says this: hey, thanks so much. Here is what you're going to do next. So here is your pre-audit form. And then we can put a link as a custom value, or you can just put the link to your form in there. Your audit session, here is the link you need to book your audit. And then the post-audit report. And it just kind of tells them what's going to happen once we've done that report. Debrief call. I can be looking on here actually. Debrief call. Once the report is ready, this is what's going to happen. You can either take the report yourself, or we will do it for you. And then just getting excited. And then this is a little secret. I always try to add in little bits like this because it makes a massive difference. So I talk a lot about automation and AI, but the point of the AI and the automation that I do is to enable me to add more human elements. So I'm trying to free up all of the admin stuff so I can spend more time with my customers, i.e. that's how I'm able to spend these really in-depth, interviews. But also there's some really cool touches that you can put in. So this, for example, voicemail, you can upload a voice recording of you and it will say, hey, it's Carly. Just wanted to let you know, I've just sent you an email over and it's got a link to your interview call. So make sure you book that in. It's also got a little form in there so you can fill that out. But just wanted to let you know, I'm super excited about getting started and diving into your business. This is going to be such a good, this is such a good investment for you. And I'm really excited to give you the clarity that you deserve. Let's go. See you next week. Let's do this. Because when they get those, whenever someone purchases anything, you kind of get that moment of like, have I done the right thing? Should I have done this? And there's that level of kind of like apprehension. So I always find that adding that voicemail straight after they purchased just is nice. It's a nice touch. They always love it. And they come back and say, thanks so much for the voicemail, Carly. Really appreciate it. Obviously, it's all automated, but I just think it's a nice little sweet touch. So if someone just said, if they book through the landing page, these workflows don't start. What do you mean with the landing page? Yeah, if they book through, so this trigger here, order form submission, we will go funnel in website AI audit. We will add the page is, what was it? Checkout. And then submission type is sale. So you'll just save that. If you want to do it through a payment link, like I just showed you before, all you'll do is come to here and you'll say order submitted. So it's not an order form, it's an order. And you go add filter, global product. You'll choose whatever that product is. So I don't have any products in there, but I'll choose that. And then you will say, it's not going to let me do it. Submission type is sale. And then save that. So depending on how you want to do it, I don't want to add too much stuff in here because it will confuse people. But if you want to do it by the payment link and do the Google Doc, or if you want to do it like this, you can do it like that. Obviously, on the calls that I do every week, I help you through all of this. So if you say, Carly, I'm thinking of doing it like this, how can I set it up? We share the screen, we jump in, we do the thing. Fabulous. So they are purchased. And then once they're purchased, once they booked in their call, and they've booked their call and they're ready for their interview, we are then going to send them, confirmation email 2 days before. They're getting an email 1 hour before, making sure that they're going to show up. They are going to show up anyway, but that is all good. So they are on there. They book their interview call. Are you all good? Are you all following, by the way? I know there's going to be so many questions, but I will answer all of them at the end, I promise. So they do the interview. We are on the interview. I ask them all of these questions. Where are the questions? I have got them. So
How are you liking this so far, folks? Let me know in the comments below. Are we following along? Are you actually doing it, or kind of working on the side? Let me know here, because we're finding that this type of like breaking it down step by step just brings so much more clarity to people as they're trying to figure out what, how, and where, and when, and combining everything with high level should look like. And this is like that end result. This is like taking the ingredients of your favorite cupcake or cake or meal and watching it in the making. So Carly, I know you were trying to move some screens around, just trying to let you focus a moment there. You look
we
like you're
got
good
it.
to
Thank
go.
you. You're the perfect
Yes,
wingman. I appreciate.
absolutely.
So
It's so hard when you got, a couple hundred people waiting for the next
no,
step and
it's
you're like,
all
oh,
good. Just to answer some questions, if anyone, if you don't have any of these bits, we'll refresh the snapshot so you get them. So don't worry about any of that. But also, if you look in the resources folder, all of this stuff is in there. If it wasn't in there yesterday, I've added some even more stuff in today. So make sure you check back there. Okay. So then what happens? We booked the interview call. We are on there with the founder. It's just me and the founder face to face. And then this is what we're going to get into now. So these are actually all the questions that you can ask. Again, make sure this is your language. I actually have this up on my screen, so you don't need to remember it. I have this up on my screen, and I normally write their answers just underneath it. So I will duplicate this document for each person. And then I just kind of like write the answers underneath it. Notes, you don't have to write every single thing, but I always say, I hope you don't mind I'm writing notes. Don't worry, I'm not like catching up on my emails. I'm just writing some notes so that I follow along. But don't forget that we're going to be recording all of these calls anyway. So if you feel like you would be more focused without writing notes, that's absolutely fine as long as you're recording. So these are all the questions that you're going to go through. And remember, it's all about the questions. You don't need to answer any of their questions. You don't need to solve any problems at this time. You are just asking questions and listening. So these are the questions for the founder. And then these are the questions for the employees if you're going on to the wider team. So we do our call. The call is ended. If you've done it right, which I imagine you will, if you just ask these questions, you will have done it right. What will actually happen is that by the end of the call, they've actually already had quite a few light bulb moments because you've been saying, why do you do it like that? And why do you do it like that? And they're like, oh my God, why do we do it like that? That doesn't even make sense. And, just asking those questions, they normally get a bit of a light bulb. So I've had amazing messages after the first interview call where people are like, I feel like that's just given me so much already. I'm so excited for the report. So we do that. Then we take the transcript of our call. So we've gone through our call, we take the transcript. If you are recording on Fathom, you'll be able to get that there. And then we go into let's go into here, GPTs. Where is my GPT? Here we go. So this is your GPT. If you haven't got a GPT, as I said, if you don't have the upgraded version of ChatGPT, do not worry. If you don't have it, all you need to do, this is the same route if you want to train a GPT or if you just want a prompt, you could just come into a new chat, take this prompt. I've got a whole prompt here. Copy it, put it into here, and then we're going to take our transcript, also put it into here, and say, can you write me a report based on this? I can't type transcript. Once we get that thingy here, we're then going to go into our Canva. And this is where we have our slides. So we have the report, we go back and forth, we get all our findings, but then I'm also going to add this in. So I'm actually going to say, these are the kind of slides that we're going to go through. So we're going to say, these are the opportunity quadrants that we are looking at. I'm going to show you what your quick wins are. I'm going to show you what your big swings are. I'm going to show you what your nice to haves are. And I'm going to show you what your future plans are, i.e., don't worry about these right now. Come in here, put in your text in here, and then you've got all the slide templates that you need. So then you're going to go on the call. You're going to book in your debrief call, and you're going to say, hello, this is what I found. We have found that this is what you need to focus on. We have found that these are the areas you need to focus on. We have found all these things, and ultimately, this is what is going to save you. And then you can go in and share your proposal after that. Now, there is another thing, though, that you can add, which I just want to jump onto, which is the secret sauce that I spoke about yesterday. Guys, this is so easy, right? If you don't want to do any of that stuff, if you're thinking, I don't want to do ChatGPT, I don't want to learn how to do all that stuff, I don't think I even know really what to say, this all seems too complex for me, then let me just show you something epic. So when you get your HighLevel account, you can go into here in the agency level. So when you sign up, this was another thing that I found confusing. You have sub accounts and you have your agency level. When you first log in, you will be at the agency level. So this is where, think of this as like the headquarters of the business. And then the sub accounts are all the kind of offices in your headquarters. So you can come over here into prospecting. You can type in, you want to search for a general area. This is actually going to do local ones to you, which is super cool. So you can type in a general area. Say I want to go for this one here. I'm going to click on here. And then I'm going to go to show report. I've done this one already, actually, so it's going through a different process. But guys, this is magic. It's literally going to scan that business for me and show me everything that it's missing. So it's going to show me whether they have a website, whether they have a chat widget, whether they have loads of stuff. So, you can come through here. Are the business details updated online? No, they're not. Do they have a strong techno stack? No. Are they showing up on Google Business Profile? Yes. Is their online reputation good? No. Do they have listings everywhere? No. So this is a low score. So you can have a look here and say they don't have a chat widget on a website. Even if your number one core service, the only thing that you wanted to offer was that you wanted to help people get a chat widget. So you don't even want to talk about doing a whole big build out. You could pass that off to someone else. But if you said internally, I want to just build, chatbots for people or a chat widget, you can have a look and say, you don't have a chat widget. I can build this for you. We have a look here. They don't have any of these things. This business has got a lot of work to do. They don't have any of these things. Their listings are inaccurate. So they're showing up on loads of places and they're not showing up properly. And then they can go down to reviews as well. So their reviews are okay, but we can have a look here and you could actually sell them Reviews AI. So Reviews AI is a service that you can do on HighLevel. It's amazing. You can help them, respond to their reviews really quickly and really boost their, what is the word I'm looking for? Reputation. So you could do that. And then all you do is export PDF. That's going to download. You're going to get this snazzy branded report with everything that you need. All of that report here, and you can even add that into your debrief call as well. So you can email this over to them. You can add that into your debrief call and say, I've also found this. This is what you need to be working on. Normally, this is a little bit of an eye opener, and they're like, damn it, I didn't even know. I thought we were doing all right, but I didn't even know that we weren't doing these things. So you can take that through, and then they can get to work on that. And then, as I said, once we are then on the call, you're on the call, you positioned all that, then you can put together your own proposal of how you want to price the services that you recommend and pitch it to them. So that is like a pit stop overview. I'm sure you've got loads of questions, but this is a pit stop overview of what this whole process looks like. You get loads of this in the snapshot. Obviously, if you are then part of my community, someone said, if we are not part of your community, how do we become part of your community? I will send a link out to you so that you can still become part of it if you want. If you like the idea of hanging out with me every week, I can send that to you. But yeah, when you join HighLevel today, you're going to get all of that stuff. You're going to get, my full audit snapshot. If you've already done the snapshot, we'll push it so those changes can actually, the added bits will go to you. My full Sell in the DM script, my custom GPT training, full document interview questions, my report presentation slides, community support, weekly calls with me, all the things. And you can be up and running as an AI growth consultant in no time.
Wow.
I've talked a lot.
I mean, it's just so much to the responsibility is obviously on the audience, right? Like this whole AI growth consultant role that you have introduced, it reminds me of the mobile get-in, right? When Google said, "Hey, you got to have your website on a mobile-friendly device. It's got to be adaptive, responsive," and no one took it serious at first. It was like, "Oh, my website's good," and you had to like, squeeze in. Type in mobile
Mhm.
get in if you remember that time, right? When Google was like, "You got to change your website," and all the marketers were like, at least the corporate marketers selling this stuff were like, "You got to have a mobile-friendly website." Type in the chat mobile-friendly website. Everyone kind of took their time, and then Google did a change in, right, the algorithm, and it was like, oh my gosh, if you're not mobile ready, you're not ready. I kind of got a feeling it's going to be like that with AI. I feel like everyone's like, dabbling with AI. They're learning it at all different levels, and then it's like you got to go AI SEO, you got to go, AI generated content for creativity, you got to build
Mhm.
your website fast with AI, and if not, you're going to get I8. I don't know what I just said, whatever that means. But the whole point is it's this transition and this AI growth consultant, you could literally get ahead of the game by building your brand. Like you had said, build your brand online, put yourself out there, be the conversation starter, and then give tons of value as you're practicing and you're moving along. I know, like, like for example, we have a handful of customers that use the marketing audit tool in high level, which gives them like a nice look and feel. How many of you are using the marketing audit tool now to go to get your first set of sales? And Carly had mentioned like with ChatGPT, with Claude, all these different platforms, you can literally like swap between high level marketing audit tool, AI, do
Mhm.
both. But the main thing is like learning it, right? Like,
That's the thing. It's finding your own flow. It's finding your own flow. You'll find bits that you like better. I like copywriting on Claude. I like this kind of stuff I find better on ChatGPT. There's actually a proven study that the hooks and everything are better on ChatGPT than they are on Claude. Claude tends to do it a bit softer, whereas ChatGPT is a bit more like, sales, marketing driven. So find your flow, find the one that works for you, play around with them. My biggest advice for getting started in this space is just play around with it and start. The interesting thing about ChatGPT and Claude and all of that is that it will guide you through a process. If you go into ChatGPT and say, I want to put together a marketing report for someone, can you help me? And it will say, yeah, sure. And it's going to prompt you and start giving you advice about, let's do it like this, or do you want me to do this for you, or do you want me to do this for you? So it's going to start guiding you to where you want to go. Let AI guide you to where you want to go. You don't have to have the answers before you start using it, but just play. Don't be afraid of failing or doing it wrong or saying the wrong thing, or ChatGPT is not going to laugh at you. You know what I mean? So just ask the stupid questions and get it to help you.
absolutely. And Carly, I know that you were going over a couple of items on there. You're gonna push an update to the snapshot.
Mhm.
There's a handful of people asking about how do they join your community. We're gonna put on the so there's a resources link that is being shared in the comments below. It's gohighlevel.com, Carly Meyers resources. There's a Google Doc there. Keep an eye on that Google Doc. We're gonna just put a note when everything's been updated. We'll put a work snapshot updated, the date and time. We'll add on there as well the scripts that were asked of. We'll add that as well, and then we'll add a link. Carla, if you can just put on your to-do list a link to get people to raise their hand to join your community if they're a high-level customer, because there's a handful of people asking for that. And I'm going to get to some Q&A. Is there anything else technical that I should hold off until?
Someone said, do they need to delete the snapshot or will you push the changes? You will push it, we will imagine. You will just
Yep.
kind of, it will be updated if they've got it in their account.
Yep. And once we put on that Google Doc, the resources doc, updated date and time, it'll be in Eastern time, and then you just have to go into your Chrome browser, go incognito mode, and you should then see it thereafter. All right. So there's a couple questions here. You okay if I go over some questions
Of
here?
course, yeah.
All right. Awesome. So, um, there was one around. Okay. So this one is Jim West. Carly, do you ever credit any of the audit costs to the services that are sold or provided?
Yeah. So when I was doing it myself, when we were offering the services ourselves, I do still offer some of them, but I don't offer it now because I don't know whether what they're going to need is going to be fulfilled by someone else, and I don't want to have to offer that money back if it's going to be fulfilled for someone else. However, if you're doing it in-house, I would 100% do that. That definitely made a difference. I would say it's 2K or something, and if you decide that you want to go ahead with us, then we will credit that money off the build cost. So it's definitely a really great way of kind of adding that little bit of safety net for them as well.
Awesome. Second question here was, should I delete the snapshot? No, you should not delete the snapshot. Same link. We'll push the update. Just for those of you there's a little delay, depending on where you're streaming. Let's see here. Do we have to ask all the questions in the doc, regardless of the size of the company? How do you go about picking the right questions if you're brand new?
Yeah, so I would go through and think of the look at the questions. You don't have to ask all of them. They're all there as a guide to say, you'll get a feel for the call and think that would sound weird if I asked that question now, or they've kind of answered that already. Most of the time, if you give someone the floor to speak, it feels like a therapy session for them, and they tend to just talk. So if they do that, then obviously don't ask the same question that they've already answered. But you can go and tweak this and, put your own stuff in if it's something relevant to you. The things that I'm really looking at, what I want to find out is where I can add in AI and automation. But, if you're doing other services and you want to find out the thing that's going to enable you to pitch a specific service, i.e., are you running Facebook ads or whatever, you can add that in as well to make the kind of steer the audit in the direction of where you want to take them. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah, hope that.
If you see a question there, jump in. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to find what we got here. So,
oh yeah, what?
Go ahead, go for it if you found one.
No, it's okay. Yeah, main questions are about snapshot and joining the community and all that open source.
Which is so cool. So here's what I found one here. What industries have you personally worked with that you would recommend someone to start with?
So weirdly, the people that I've found have contacted me the most from my content is like the construction industry. They are really keen on automating. They typically are not techie at all. There's also not a load of tech tools that really serve the smaller business owners. When I say smaller, I mean like not this huge, corporate construction company, but the smaller construction companies are very underserved when it comes with these tools. So they're people that are really interested a lot of the time, especially with speed to lead stuff. Like if people will be messaging them all the time, hey, can you give me a quote for this? Or hey, can you come and talk to me about this project? And they're on the tools most of the time. These smaller businesses, even if they're doing, $1 million or something, they are still on the tools. So they're not getting back to those people until a day, 2 days later, and it's all taken a really long time. So they're really interested in learning how they can automate it. A lot of them have no interest in the marketing and the admin stuff. They just want to be doing the do. So that's a good one. We've also worked with like a HVAC company. They had a really big business and they benefited a lot from it. We ended up building like AI dashboards. That went a bit rogue, that project. I kind of got well into my tech nerd zone. You don't need to do that. And then we worked with like a dental clinic. We work with med spas. It's really for, I should tell you to niche down. But for me, I've kind of worked with a whole host of businesses.
Awesome. And then when it comes to the next upsell, the next service for a small to medium-sized business, you do the AI automation, the AI audit, you review everything. Do you have some examples of what you do with your SaaS side of the business? I know you have, the coaching, you have the SaaS, and then you have your custom services. Are you doing, 97, 297, 497? Are you doing starting at 297? Could you share a little bit about how somebody could start with their SaaS?
Yeah, so with my SaaS, I actually do 197, 297, 497. The reason for that is that I also use one of the white label support agencies as well. So they do, all my tech support. I don't want to be there taking tech calls, and I don't want to build a team around that. So I use the white label agencies for that. And then and that helps me cover that. You could still do it without that anyway, but that's what I do for the 197. But also I combined a lot of my coaching with my SaaS as well. So that's why I kind of did it more than HighLevel, because they're getting weekly calls with me. They get all my courses. They're getting all of that. You also get this, by the way, with HighLevel. When you join through my link, you'll also get all my courses. So I kind of combined the coaching and the SaaS together, which is why I did it slightly more. But yeah, once I give them all of the stuff, I say, look, you're perfect fit for. If they are a business that is, they've got multiple businesses. For example, I've worked with some franchise owners. I will send them to HighLevel. If they are really wanting more hands-on support and they are going to benefit a lot from the coaching, then I'll send them to my white label. It really depends on what's right for them. So that's kind of how I do it. But there is the great thing about the wild thing. Actually, this is probably the thing that blew my mind the most about HighLevel, is the idea of snapshots. So if you are you're primarily working with med spas, or you're primarily working with construction industry, and typically most people are going to need this thing, you can have your snapshots, these little build in a box businesses that are already done. And instead of rebuilding this for every single client that comes on board, you can give them that snapshot. Even if it's something that wasn't in their audit report, you can say, hey, I just popped this in, I've just built this out for you. That is a major over deliver. And they're going to be like, wow, she didn't even quote me for that. And she's just, giving me that. So if you are wanting to run a kind of lean agency, then you could really hone in on those snapshots and deliver those as well. So it's a very, very cool way of doing it.
Awesome. And you had mentioned earlier on, reputation management. You had mentioned a couple of different features that the small to medium-sized businesses. You had mentioned boomers, right? There are several boomers that are, obviously retiring out of their entrepreneurship journey before, entrepreneurship was a thing, right? That was, put on TV and, built around as something exciting to do. And people are, selling their businesses. As an AI growth consultant, partnering with a commercial real estate agent, is that something that you believe, in for someone getting started, having a good referral partner would help? And how could that person bring that value to that real estate agent, or somebody in that commercial lending world? Just, someone that's out there hustling. Maybe they're on a 1099. Maybe they have their own entrepreneurship umbrella under a brokerage or some sort of bigger franchise style setup. So that way one hand washes another.
So I think I've understood the question. Commercial real estate, we don't say that in the UK, but commercial real estate.
Sorry.
No,
You sound like you're from New York. My bad.
Do I?
I thought you were. No, I'm only kidding.
I actually sound like, if anyone watches The Only Way is Essex, I sound a bit like that. Some people love to watch the UK things, or like UK Love Island. That's what I sound like. So commercial real estate, that's like as in like business buildings. Is that?
Yeah, like they're renting, they're coordinating rentals of business buildings. They're helping people get the money to open up a store. Like a B2B lenders. Let's say B2B lenders.
Yeah. So how I could help those people, do you mean?
Yeah. So like if I get a referral partner, so what I'm thinking here is I partner with someone that works with small to medium-sized businesses, whether it's consulting, finance, just helping them build a business plan, maybe the small business developmental center kind of thing. And I say, hey, I can help you if you have people that need help. This is what I do. How could I share that value, or how would you recommend me sharing that value as a student?
Sorry, I get it now. I get the question. Yeah, so I actually do this a lot. So there's a lot of networks that I'm part of. For example, I became part of a big property network. I spoke at a property event that opened up a whole world of stuff, and then loads of other people that have really niche audiences and kind of networks, and they refer me. And all we do is then if they refer me, I give them a kickback on that audit, and then I can give them another kickback on the build out if you want. So if you do have, it's a really great way of growing, your business. If you do want to do that, you can also use the affiliate manager in HighLevel as well. The affiliate manager is brilliant if you want to have people promoting this audit offer for you. Partnering with people that help sell businesses, that's a great partnership. So, you know, people that help sell businesses, there are many people, many business owners that go to them and they're not quite ready. They've had a look at their business and said, if I remove you, the founder, from your business, you have no business. So your business isn't sellable. There's a lot of people that are in that position. So if you make it known to that person, that brokerage, that those people that aren't the right fit to sell their business right now, send them over to me. I will audit their business, and we will put together a roadmap of what they need to put in place to remove them as a founder so that their business is more valuable and it survives without them.
Powerful. And I could yell this from the mountains, but you're our subject matter expert guest. You've shared hands-on what you're doing. You've shared hands-on that you participate in networking. You're in your local market. You're building local friendly one-to-one relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So what if I'm like super techie and I'm not sales motivated at all? Like I don't want to reach out to people. I don't want to start the conversation. How could you help me just kind of realize how easy it is just to just get started with it? It'll naturally take its course, because I feel like some of the folks we have here might be ready and willing to unpack the snapshot, to break it down line by line like they were looking at code, figure out different ways to set it up the same way it's already set up with an alternate. But what about like the actual prospecting part of this? Is
Mm-hmm.
that really that important to make this even work?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need to connect with the business owners that need it. You know, another great way is if you're in a like Facebook groups of people that are looking to sell their business, or people, you know, brokerages, like you said, you can connect in Facebook groups. You can be connected with people like that, and then people are always going to be. The great thing about this is that it solves so many problems. You're not just saying I'm just going to get you leads, or you're not saying I'm just going to help you make more sales or get more appointments. There are so many things, so many problems that this solves. So if you're in a Facebook community or any other community like that, pretty much most frustrations that you're hearing people talk about can be solved with, you know, getting clarity about AI and automation and seeing how we can look at that. So just kind of like, you know, have your ears open to the conversations that are happening around you. Even a question to someone, which is like, you know, how's your week been this week? They're going to tell you why their week was not good. They're going to be like, oh God, I've had such a nightmare. I've got this new, you know, receptionist that's just come on board and blah, blah, blah. They're going to moan about something. And then with that, you can then say, have you thought about looking at AI and automation? And they say, oh, I know, I haven't even got time to look at it. I don't even know where I'd start. I can't be bothered with that right now. And then you say, well, you know, if this is something you're interested in, we actually help business owners figure out exactly how to do it. We just do this really quick audit. We dive in, figure out, you know, what's not working, how we can fix it, and how we can get you more money and save you more time. I think it's really going to help you. So there are conversations that are happening all around. This is not something that we need to train people on, wake people up to. These conversations, if you open your ears, they're happening everywhere. Most people are moaning down the pub on a night out, you know, in the park, down at the kids club, or wherever you are. So yeah, open your ears and just have those conversations and say, well, you know, I could help you with that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Carly. I know we're at the tail end of our time here. I don't see any final questions, but if y'all want to take a quick moment here and jot down your question, type in Q in your question. Carly, if you don't mind, just kind of someone that might have joined in halfway, if you have a little bit of a summary you could share, you could refer them back to day 1 and day 2 videos. We'll have the links to our YouTube channel below and where those replays are at. We have the QR code up top where you can subscribe if you're an existing HighLevel user for those replays. If you don't mind taking this home, I think this will be a good foundation for someone to go back and watch at their convenience.
Yeah, of course. So definitely go back to day 1. We've covered a lot. We've covered a lot in both days, to be honest with you. I know I talk quick. I haven't kind of just given you a brief overview. So definitely go back and watch it. Save the video. Make sure you keep going back and you know, getting everything that you need. But ultimately remember that you don't have to nail this first of all. So I've overloaded you with information here. If you're feeling a bit overwhelmed, you're thinking, this sounds good, but I'm just confused. That's all good. We can work with confused. We can move from there. That's a starting point. And then we just, stack our skills. We learn a little bit more. We practice. We get better. And then eventually you get to the point where you are good at this. I wasn't doing this when I was dancing on a stage. When I was, for those that don't know, I was a professional dancer before I did this. So I definitely was not trained in this way. But what I did do was I, signed up to HighLevel, watched every single workshop there is, learned loads. If there is something that I don't know how to do, someone has made a video about it. That's the beautiful thing. We are in the age of self-learning. You can just say, oh, what is that thing with the brackets? And then you see it's custom value. Say, what is a custom value? Literally either chat GPT it, what is a custom value in Go HighLevel, or put it on YouTube and someone's done a video about it. So have that mentality of like, I may not understand this now, but everything is out there for me to do it. And you get weekly calls with me. So if you really get stuck, we can jump on the calls and we can do it then. So, have that starting point and know that this is all learnable, but genuinely, this is the way the world is going. Instead of swimming with the sea, move, create your own lane, and go where the demand is, go where the starving crowd is, because so many business owners are looking for this, and it's a really enjoyable way of doing it. When I get on those calls and I get those, that I see their eyes go and they're like, oh my God, I love that. It's such a good feeling. And I know that I'm really helping people navigate their way through this crazy time that we're in. We are in the most incredible time. And this is a brilliant way of riding that wave and having a lot of fun with it and being fully supported with it as well. So dive in, my friends. It's an exciting time.
Absolutely. And folks, in the comments below, type in your biggest takeaway. What was the biggest takeaway for you? Just one. I know there's a bunch, just one. And then as you're done doing that, help me with some emojis, some caps. Let's let our special guest, Carly Meyers, feel our warm appreciation for hanging out with us 2 days back to back for an hour and a half to 2 hours of just opening up her business, sharing her strategy, sharing her perspective, giving us the inspiration of the AI growth consultant to go out and monetize our time, our efforts, and what we're doing here every day on the HighLevel platform. Look, we wouldn't be doing this without all of you, our customers, our new customers, our trial members. We appreciate you. Carly, I know we got a lot of stuff to chat about here with you being at our summit on our main stage, and some of the great things you're going to be sharing then that you were tempted of sharing here, but you couldn't. But thank you so much. I appreciate you, and on behalf of our co-founders, our leadership, our staff, our team, everybody, we really, really appreciate you teaching us and showing us a few things.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so excited to be able to give back to the community that's given me so much, and super excited to see lots of you in my community as well.
Well, make sure you get to those comments, Carly. Take a look at what these awesome people are saying. They're one of a kind. And look, y'all, we'll see you on the next one for sure. Till then, get into that snapshot in a few minutes here when we push the update, and we'll see you. We'll see you very soon. Take care.
Bye.